Dr. James Harrison, 78, received a diagnosis in quiet tones, 6 months. Maybe 9 if you're fortunate. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. I'm sorry. He was fortunate. He lived 8 months longer, each one filled with pain that pills couldn't quite manage and a clarity of purpose that grew sharper as his body grew weaker. James had spent 40 years as an emergency room physician. He'd seen human suffering, human cruelty, and human resilience. When he entered Riverside Care Facility for his final days, he saw all 3 again. He saw nurses skipping patients' pain medication to increase profit margins. He saw doctors signing off on procedures that harmed rather than helped. He saw management gaslighting families into believing their loved ones were combative when they were actually being sedated into compliance. Most importantly, he saw no one was recording it. James made a decision. He had weeks of life left. He wasn't fighting for his own survival. His fight was for the ones who would come after him, the ones who couldn't speak for themselves. He acquired a small digital recorder, no larger than a pen. He hid it in his sleeve. Every day, he recorded interactions, conversations with nurses who admitted they were underpaid and unsupervised, doctors who spoke casually about residents as bed numbers rather than people, administrators discussing how to avoid inspection triggers. He recorded the moment a resident was given the wrong medication and the staff member who said, "He won't remember anyway. And if he does, who'll believe him?" He recorded the physical abuse, thinly veiled as necessary restraint. He recorded the financial conversations, the stolen pain medications, the falsified charts. James knew he was documenting his own slow erasure, but he was careful. The recordings were hidden. Multiple copies were made and sealed in envelopes addressed to different organizations, with instructions to open them only after his death. His daughter knew nothing of the project. His doctors knew nothing. The facility certainly knew nothing. When James Harrison finally died, peaceful in his final moments, everything changed. Within 48 hours, the first recordings reached the state attorney's office. Within a week, 20 hours of documented evidence had been analyzed and verified. Within a month, a criminal investigation had begun. The recordings were devastating because they were not accusations, they were confessions. Staff members had admitted on tape to practices that constituted elder abuse, fraud, and neglect. Doctors had made statements that contradicted official protocols. Riverside Care faced criminal charges, civil suits, and federal investigation. 3 staff members were arrested. 2 doctors lost their licenses. The administrator was charged with conspiracy to defraud. But the most powerful moment came during the trial, when the prosecution played a clip of James Harrison's voice, recorded just days before his death, describing what he had witnessed. "I won't be here to see justice," his recorded voice said, "but I'm leaving behind proof that I saw what happened here. And that matters. That matters more than my comfort in these final days." The jury was silent. James Harrison's recordings didn't save his life, but they transformed elder care policy in 3 states. Every nursing home was mandated to allow residents to record interactions with staff. Every documentation had to be cross-verified. Oversight was tripled. Most importantly, families learned that a loved one's final act could be their greatest gift, not to themselves, but to everyone who came after. When her father's story became public, James's daughter established a foundation that trained elderly residents how to document abuse. Before it was too late, she called it Dr. Harrison's Last Rounds, and her tagline became, "Your life story doesn't have to end silently. Let your voice echo." James Harrison never got justice for himself, but he became the voice that couldn't be silenced. Even after he was gone,